I love living in the Bay Area because it's cooler than Los Angeles. There's a lot less smog. People seem to be a little bit more friendly up here.
You know, I love living in the Bay Area primarily because I used to live in Illinois. And I know what it is to go through 18 winters back there in central Illinois.
I love the Bay Area because people are aware of our environment. And not only are they aware of the environment, they're trying to make it better.
100,000 acres of open space. That's the legacy in Alameda and Contra Costa counties left by a small group of civic leaders who had the vision to preserve what is today the East Bay Regional Parks District. And when you look at the Bay and how it binds us all together, remember the 3 women who led the charge to save the Bay. That campaign sparked a worldwide movement to save shorelines and promote public access. Jewels of the Bay Area, gifts bestowed to us by visionaries of their time. They had a plan, patience, and the strength to dream and dare. The result? Open space and beauty that people in the Bay Area have come to take for granted. Unfortunately, this is what we've also come to take for granted in the Bay Area: congestion and traffic.
The congestion here in the Bay Area is bad, and statistics show that we are number 2 in the nation as having the most congested freeways. We're only behind Los Angeles. So I think clearly we have a lot of work to do.
You know, climate change is not just an aesthetic issue. It's primarily a health issue. When you think about the rates of asthma in different parts of California, the fact of the matter is it's a public health imperative to address the change in our climate, to address the quality of our air in many parts of this state.
The impact of climate change has forced us to reevaluate the way we live. The big question: how to accommodate a growing population while minimizing the impact to the environment. One answer: Senate Bill 375. Senator Darrell Steinberg explains its origins.
I think what happened was in 2006, when the legislature passed the landmark AB 32, there was a common recognition that while most of the attention is paid to alternative fuels and hybrid vehicles and stationary source reductions for business, that there was a big piece of meeting those goals that wasn't talked about enough. And that is changing our development patterns, planning in a way that reduces the amount of miles that people have to travel to and from home to work, or again, home to retail. And that if we could find a way to incentivize growth, but more compact growth, we would not only be meeting or have a better chance to meet our AB 32 goals, but we would be fulfilling those decades-long goals of creating smart growth or a better jobs housing balance.
If this is all about, one, creating sustainable communities, reducing vehicle miles traveled, reducing greenhouse gases, one of the ways we can do that, and certainly the MTC has pointed to this as well as ABAG, is by melding transit, transportation, and land use into kind of smart urban design, urban centers where people can walk to work, where people can take public transit to work, where people can live near where they're working, and where there are public amenities that kind of will create a community that's kind of self-sustaining.
Sustainability is a concept that means different things depending on whom you ask.
Sustainability basically means something that's going to last for generations to come, serve the community long term, not take away from the environment.
Here in San Jose, sustainability means transforming a city that for a half-century has been built for cars into a city that's built for people. It means halting the development in our hillsides and the valleys to focus the development, as we are now, along our transit corridors and in the downtown.
What sustainability means to me and my constituents is relationships. Relationship to where you work, a relationship to where you live, to where you buy your food, to where you hang out, to where your children go to school. It's relationships and how close those are and how easy they are to get to.
Sustainability cannot just be seen through the single lens of reduction of greenhouse gases or reduction of vehicle miles traveled. It really is about making sure that if you implement these strategies, you're bringing with you right? Communities of color, working class communities that have been disadvantaged over many, many years, and making sure that whatever plans you put into place not only reduce those noxious gases, et cetera, but also kind of create an avenue for folks.
With limited resources and increasing demand, the future of all 7 million of us in the Bay Area is on the line.
In implementing SB 375, nobody has to start from scratch here, because there are numerous examples in the Bay Area and throughout the state of applying SB 375 principles, even pre-SB 375. And I always say, rather than reinvent, I think sometimes all we need to do is look at what is already working and then figure out ways, incentives that we can replicate it.
Hercules has a couple of priority development areas that include plans for a reinvigorated downtown area, an intermodal transit center, and high-density housing.
Well, we're down here on Railroad Avenue. This is the waterfront district of Hercules. And this is the new urbanization program that we have going on down here. It's high-density, walkable, sustainable community, not only housing, but also businesses, retail businesses, employment opportunities in our great community.
Vallejo has revived its waterfront area, first by reinstating ferry service as a mode of transportation, and then with careful planning for mixed-use development centered around the ferry terminal.
Here in Vallejo we have a unique opportunity to be able to do some really neat things to not only address global warming, but also to address the way we conduct our lives. The waterfront where we're standing is a perfect example. People come here and walk and fly kites and walk their dogs.
By getting people closer to a major transit hub, the likelihood of them using that major transit hub is greatly increased because they are within walking distance and they'll get on the BART line. And since BART is also going to be expanding into Santa Clara County, we'll be able to go in bi-directions. Rather than just into San Francisco or Oakland, we will be able to go into Santa Clara County, which for our residents is a major employment area for Union City people.
I represent the downtown district, the most urban district in the city. Sustainability in San Jose and the downtown means that we've just finished the first high-rise housing development that the city has seen in well over 3 decades. We now have 4 towers that have sprouted from the ground in the last 2 years.
Up north, the city of Santa Rosa is redesigning the core of its city around its rail hub.
The 9 cities in Sonoma County and the County of Sonoma have agreed in common on the goals to reduce greenhouse gases by 2015. We have a challenge ahead of us because a lot of our greenhouse gas emissions come from transportation, mostly from single occupancy vehicles. So the strategies that we need to embrace involve intensifying development in the core area, linking residents with jobs and services.
The challenge for the Bay Area is to reduce greenhouse gas emissions from cars and light trucks.
The region needs to come together and move forward on 375 goals because overall it's better off for us. We need to be looking at a way to get the greenhouse gas emissions reduced, vehicle miles traveled reduced, and we'll all be better for it.
And that's why we're ready to unveil One Bay Area, a new initiative to harness the sustainability efforts of the diverse Bay Area. Our 101 cities, 9 counties, congestion management agencies, transit agencies, along with interested residents and stakeholder groups, will come together to develop a sustainable community strategy. The effort will be led by the Association of Bay Area Governments and the Metropolitan Transportation Commission in partnership with the Bay Area Air Quality Management District and the San Francisco Bay Conservation and Development Commission. To learn more and get involved, visit the One Bay Area website at onebayarea.org.
There's no place like the Bay Area for all that it has to offer. And I just want to commend the elected officials and the city managers and the county execs and the people who head your transit and regional governance agencies for rolling up your sleeves and making SB 375 work. While there is always a challenge in implementation, that there is an once in a several decade opportunity here to change relationships, and most importantly, to change our development patterns in ways that promote growth, that promote affordable housing, that maintain local control, and at the same time are not just consistent with, but are furthering our essential goals to improve the climate and to improve air quality. That's a pretty exciting charge.